And this is, out of every Black Clover episode, the one I was dreading the most to watch because, yes, as someone, as keen-eye viewers and listeners and all kinds of audio and media watching kind of like watchers know that I talked about this chapter in the manga and I fucking hated it. I felt like this was the most filler-ass, like, we are just taking a break so the author can just write up and come up with some ideas the next week. And it is one saving grace of this episode, and it makes a lot of sense that they did this, was that they added the new opening and the new ending for the series, which, by the way, the opening, I've already done a live reaction on that, is hot fucking fire. I love the opening, and they blessed us with having the full version as well. So yeah, Black Rover has been going off on my phone like non-stop, so I fucking love it. I did get asked if I was going to cut the ending. Personally, I already saw the ending, like the full version when that came out, and to be fair, like I said, I'm going to be straight honest, like I personally did not care for the song itself, and I was like, well, maybe the visuals might be having something, and I was like, it's really gorgeous visuals of like Noelle, and I will say, like, yeah, no, I definitely just didn't have really inspiration. It's like, personally, it needs to go hand in hand with me. Like, the visuals need to matter as much as to me as like what I'm listening to. If I'm not fully immersed by it, it's just not going to be my cup of tea, to be fair. So I'm not really going to be like talking about that. However, this episode though, which is, let's have Finral, because he can't crush any puss, he's like, man, I really want to go, like, but the problem is, it's like, it's a mixer, you know, I've got like 2 other people with me, and it's like, who do I know? Who in the Black Balls would I go? And it's like, Magna, and it's like, he's too Yankee, he might, you know, be bad boy type, that like, people not like. I'm not gonna lie, that was hilarious when they was like, they were showcasing every character, and it was like, hey, let's go for it, and it's like, okay, because there was some filler in this episode as well. I like to point that out, is that this is a single chapter, so of course they added their own stuff into it, and it's like, nah, he's too, like, the bad boy, and I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny, and he's like, yeah, like, too young, and I was like, okay, to be fair, he would have been better than what Finn Writing shows. Yami, who was, like, too serious and too much of, like, ooh, you dress like whores, and it's like, man, I need a dump. He's like, yeah, but everyone loves Yami, so no, you should have taken him. Gray is like, who's benching weights. It's just there. I was like, no. Vanessa, which I was like, alright, she's into some chicks. I mean, fuck it, that's fine. It's never really been addressed in the series too much and all that, apart from maybe she has a thing with a certain character, and I'm not talking about the little thing she said with Asta. Like, that, like, I was like, oh, okay, that would be cool if she was there, but she's drunk off her fucking ass. So it was like, let's get Asta involved and let's get Luck involved, which are some of the worst people. I kind of like they made a thing. It was like, oh, Gordon, he couldn't, like, he was the one that would have made more sense to come, but of course no one pays attention to him because that's Gordon's entire shtick. So yeah, you could have gone for the safer route, which like I said, the episode is just really that, and it's Noelle following them, which Noelle, like I said, the most standout parts of the episode was like a few jokes here and there, and I was like, here's a cute moment with Noelle here or there. It's like, oh, she's like dressing up as Maine, and she's like, oh no, I don't like, you know, Shrimpster, like I don't care about him, like, oh, he's stupid, you know, all that shit. And then it's like, oh no, but there is a girl, which is the same person that we saw in like the early episodes. They had a cameo of her with her little brother, and it was like, oh, it's Scarlet. Oh, hey, like, it was like, you know, remember her? And I was like, that's something for, like, the anime watchers, where it's like, oh, hey, that's a character that some of us met. Like, especially, like, there were 2 characters, if you remember, from the early episodes, and there was a tiny blue-haired girl, and also, as well, her. And I was like, that's a cool little thing to, like, bring back. And it's like, you know, I don't mind this character, because in the manga, she's so tiny. She's barely in it. Like, she's just a she's a commoner, like she's like there like working her 9 to 5, taking care of like all her little baby brothers and sisters, and her and although the most of the mixer is just like, oh yeah, like they're weirdos. Like there's a really weird creepy joke where it's like, yeah, no, like I was really strong and I was in the latest invasion, but I've got 3 holes through me, and just Lux starts poking through the holes, and it's like it's really weird shit, and I'm like, okay, this is something. And Finral's like there like, what have I done? What have I generally done? And overall, I would definitely say, like, out of everyone, like, also, like, the 2 other girls are fucking nothing at this point, but the one that you do get to spend time with is Rebecca, and, you know, as a character, she's fine. Like, in the manga, she's fine as well. She's completely harmless. She's, like, she's mainly there as, like, oh, someone else saw Asta's good side, and it's like, no, look at him actually kind of being like, not really a gentleman, but like let him see like a little heroic, and it's like, let's put a character that can really relate to him in one ways. And it was a nice little mention where it's like, yeah, all the kids back home and all that, you know, like I consider them my brothers and sisters. And it's just nice that you get that address where he's like, no, is my rival, but I do consider him my brother as well. And I was like, that's a nice little thing as well. It's like you get that nice little nod here and there, and it's like there is like, if I remember correctly, when I talked about the chapter, I literally said there is nothing to talk about. Like, there was nothing really. It was there, it existed, and I was like, yeah, no, I just hope next week's better. And it's like, so here's the thing now with next week's, because I've gone in details as well with talking about the anime, its pacing, the production going around it, and especially the opening normally gives us key hints of what's going to be happening, which obviously the next arc is going to be, I don't know the official name for it, but I call it the Gauche arc, because that's finally his time to shine. Like, we finally get to see a little bit more of Gauche. But this is the thing though, which I'm wondering is, are we finally going to talk about the light novel? And I know that's something I've gone on so many fucking times where it's like, the light novel is integral to the story. It hasn't been translated over here for us, so we have no idea about. We just know about key prominent characters going to be in there, which they might do. The opening's a little bit vague with some stuff, apart from the stuff that's going to be happening in the next arc, and it's like, and it's a pretty short arc, and it's like, that would make sense if they do the light novel and then they do like this arc. So whether or not whichever order, it's like that would make up 13 episodes, and then after that it's like, this is going to be a 51 episode run, so where are we going from here? Are we going to go and try to do some filler only stuff? Are we going to at least try to go somewhere else with this, where it's like, oh, it generally looks for manga, like, and just saying the arc names I don't really consider spoilers for the most part, but we are either going to end on the temple arc, or we're going to end on the forest. So those are the two where we're going. It's like, forest, if it's going to be a lot more fast-paced from now on, depending on how quickly animate some of that stuff, but the temple could be where we could be ending off this series. And I feel like this, then again, it's like, this episode was not really that much to talk about, and it's like, this is honestly what more I can discuss about, or it's like, it had to happen, and there's like, what, every time like Black Clover does this, like maybe once or twice, where it's like, let's do this. What's also concerning is the next week's preview, because I ended up going through the chapters, and I think we're at like chapter 38, 39 of the manga right now, and it's like, okay, what is going to happen next? Because I'm seeing a lot of like filler only stuff where it's like, there's additions, and I fucking dread if it's going to be, let's do the recap episode, because I know Boruto did that as well, and I know it's like full well that we do this a lot of the time in fucking period series, and I'm like, can we fucking not? I don't think if I remember correctly, Twin Stars didn't have it, but it had so many changings out the fucking wazoo, and like also as well there was a filler arc as well involved, and it's like, and a filler ending. It was all over the place with it. So I honestly, like, with next week, I hope that it's just like, here's a few additional scenes, and then let's just keep going over the rest of the stuff. But it's like, hey, here's another girl to add to the Asta harem, which is Noelle, Mimosa, and Rebecca. So it's like, I don't think we all know who Best Girl is, but like, because it's none of these girls not out. I'm just saying the best girl in the entire series, but if we're talking about parents, then, you know, that's a whole other fucking discussion. But overall, like, let's just say there's still one best girl or woman, shall we say, who hasn't appeared yet and isn't going to appear in the anime, and people know, latest chapters know who the hell I am talking about. But overall, like, in anime format, it was harmless as like a still till it's like, oh man, after the crazy ending, it's like, after like, you know, everything that happened in like the royal invasion, like, yeah, it's there, it exists, and there's nothing else to talk about. There really isn't. Like, it's, I wouldn't consider it a bad episode, but the people I like, as even as when I read it, I considered it a bad chapter. So it's like, now looking back at it, it's like, it's harmless to introduce a new character, but it could have been portrayed a way lot better. They could have maybe gone through this a lot fast paced. So as much as like a chuckle I got from some of those scenes, I was like, yeah, either or. I still would have rather had them like do this in half an episode and just get it over and done with, to be fair, because like, oh, here's a cool down, here's some nice comedy moments, and just, you know, get it done with. That's just me. But like I said, the standout of the episode, and that's why I feel like, let's put the opening here, because this is the reason people are going to watch this episode, because like, they want to see the new opening, they want to see the new ending, and hopefully, I just hope the next episode just, we blitz through that stuff, like whatever that filler stuff is, it's like, let's blitz through that and just go for it, because Black Clover was doing very well when it was going through the Royal Invasion, and I hope just filler just does not plague the show from now on, because if that is the case, then if we're going to have filler episodes, like filler parts and filler episodes, then you can guarantee yourself that we're going to be ending at the Temple Arc and not at the Forest. So yeah, overall, like I said, the episode was fine, but it's like, I wasn't fully cackling or laughing. I got a couple of like a little smile on my face either there, but that's just me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. That's all from me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.